Hi, I want to show you two techniques tonight. There was a wonderful watercolor painter named Zoltan Szabo, and my mother studied with him several times, and I was lucky enough to do the same, not in the same class, only once was the same class. And in her books she left me, I found these exercises, and he did like 6 different steps to teach you how to do a certain scene. So I got them out, and I've been teaching my students by his exercises. So this is a Zoltan Szabo design, and now we are to the final part, and this is what I wanted to show you. You reaching for something here. Um, Putting the freckles on this azalea. Now I am using a Kolinsky sable. This is a size 6 round, pointed round. And what you would want to do if you don't have this particular brush is to have a thin one, a natural fiber, if you can, because that's going to let you put more water down. And the two colors that he has you mix together are a cobalt violet, which is here, and a cobalt blue, which is here. And I've made that bluer than whoopsie, I just dropped it on my painting. That's not a good thing. Do that all the time. You know how that goes. If you've watercolored very much, one of the definitions of a watercolor is simply responding to an accident. So I have my brush very nicely loaded, and I'm going to just do this one time, and I'm going to come this way because my space is kind of crowded here, and if I were to go back into this, it would lift up my paint, and I certainly don't want to do that. So those are little freckles on that petal. And now we're going to do some on this. See, you just one time put your brush down and lift, down and lift, down and lift, down and lift. A little bit random, planned random. How's that? Planned random. Well, that went a little bit further than I wanted it to, so I'm going to dab that just a little bit so it won't be so bright there. And compensate by putting a few more there. There we go. I like that. Now I'm going to put a few on this petal. And see, I'm not going back. If I tried to manipulate that at all, it would be a non-productive movement. And we don't want non-productive, that's for sure. Now we're going to come down here. Oh, isn't that lovely? The freckles help to define the direction of the petal. I'm going to lighten this just a little bit, which means a little bit more water. See, we're just putting it down and lift, down and lift, down and lift. Isn't that fun? And now I'm going to put just a little definition here. Let's see, shall we add any more? No, I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe another freckle up here. Now, one thing that is great fun, I am going to now do the stamens. And I hope I'm talking loud enough. This is called a thirsty brush. I have my water outside of where you can see. And I've cleaned my brush. I'm blotting it. And now I'm going to dab, and I'm going to come down here with just the dampness in the brush and blot. And then we're gonna see how much of the paint we can lift. And these are going to become, I hope, very delicate stamens. We shall see. Oh, that did nicely. You may be able to see my pencil marks left from my original drawing. Zoltan Szabo was such a master, and he taught so many people all over the world. And one of my students was kind enough to share a copy of a book that he really liked on watercolor. And so I brought it home with me, and I was reading it, and I was looking first of all through the pictures, and I thought, oh, this looks a lot like Zoltan Szabo techniques. And I read the introduction to the book, and what did the author say but thanks so much to my friend and mentor, Zoltan Szabo, and went on to talk about how much Mr. Szabo had meant to him as a watercolor painter. So you may find Zoltan Szabo's name in books by current people that are publishing. So this is helping to lift a little bit of that paint. Because I'm going to use gouache in a moment. Now this is one that crosses over. And you will see it emerge in just a second. Oh, it's sometimes so hard to be patient with a watercolor. But that's the fun of it. We're supposed to enjoy every stroke. It's the process of painting and the joy of painting. I read that in a John Pike book from, I believe, like the 50s. I have a lot of old books, watercolor techniques, you know, go through the ages. Okay, now I'm kind of happy with that. Now, I have white gouache. In watercolors, you have transparent watercolors and you have opaque watercolors. And opaque watercolors are called gouache. And so I am going to pick up a bit of my gouache because it is opaque. I'm loading my brush with it because I want there to be enough, hopefully, to go through the whole. All right. Cross your fingers and hope for the best. Oh, yay. I wanted that very delicate. And so far, so good. Whew. Breathe easy now. If you are older and you're a coffee drinker, you would not want to have had your coffee before you do something like this. You want every positive aspect of your body on your side when you're doing this. So, nothing that will make your hand shake. And where's this other one? He sort of disappeared on me. Isn't that fun? Going back over that just a little bit, but that got a little darker than I wanted. Now this little fella over here comes out and goes around. And I'll tell you, in watercolor, your brush is everything. You can make do with lesser quality grades of paint but the brush is really critical to being able to do certain things with ease. The natural fiber brushes will hold more water, and if you have more water, if you can get more water up in this part of the brush, then it can come on down with your color to make these long extensions. So I'm going to go over that just a little bit, and this a little bit, and I kind of let that guy out. See if I can aim correctly. So I know Zoltan Szabo, he was a lovely man, and I know he would want me to wish you well in your endeavors of using his technique, and he was very gracious. Okay, I think we're done. So I hope that will give you some ideas to do in your own floral paintings. And lifting that color allows then the gouache to go on without picking up the underpaint. So enjoy and happy painting, and so glad we could do this together. Bye now.